I told them you go quietly. No! You know there's no way I can handle a cage, man. I don't care. You gotta go down. It's gotta be that way. Okay, man. Okay. I'm screwed. I'm gonna go to jail, and I'll pay, and Johnny Utah gets this guy. Right? Good for you. That's real good. You're gonna be a big hero now. But look at it, Johnny. Look at it! This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, man. Just let me go out there. Let me get one wave before you take me. One wave. I mean, where am I gonna go, man? Cliffs on both sides. I'm not gonna paddle to New Zealand. My whole life has been about this moment, Johnny. Come on, compadre. Come on.
And you're listening to episode 14. I'm going to write it down eventually. I swear to God. You know what? Next week I'm going to write it down and I'm going to say it with the utmost confidence. This is episode 15, but that's next week. This is episode 14 of the Press Play podcast. And I'm Ian.
And I'm Seth.
And thanks to everybody listening on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, all the major platforms. And just want to let you know, if you want to follow us on Facebook, it's easy to find. Just go to facebook.com/podcastpressplay. And today, we get to talk about one of my favorite movies, and that is Point Break. And before we actually start talking about it, Seth, you told me before we hit record that you have not seen this movie since you saw it in the theater.
It wasn't in the theater, it was on video.
Oh, okay, so when it came out.
When it came out, way back in the early 90s, so more than 25 years ago.
Yeah, so this is the first time you've seen it since then.
Yes.
I see this movie all the time because no matter what I'm doing, I have to own this movie.
Yeah, and this movie, the memories of it were just like images. I remembered the presidents, I remembered the surfing, but I remembered none of the details, and oh my God, what a ride. I have so much to say.
Okay, good, because like I said, I watch this movie at least once a year. It is one of my favorite movies. It's the acting, we'll start there. It's not the greatest.
No.
Especially from Keanu.
Especially from Keanu. He's earned that paycheck,
He was trying to break away from that Bill and Ted role.
Yeah.
So, he's kind of Ted-ish.
But
he's a little bit more serious, and it's enjoyable to watch. Especially him. And you've got Gary Busey just doing what he does best, and that's being Gary Busey. He is a freaking joy to watch in this film.
Yes, he is.
As opposed to like Lethal Weapon, where he's being serious. I love Angelo Pappas in this movie. And I love John C. McGinley as the FBI director or whatever.
I forgot he was in this, man.
Oh my God. That is him just doing his best Dr. Cox audition, because he is exactly... If you're writing a role like Dr. Cox, you have to have this person in mind, and he was just being that person years before this show was even thought of. So he was fantastic.
He got on the screen, the first thing he did was started to rant.
Yes.
I loved it.
And Patrick Swayze absolutely killed it as Bodhi. Can't say enough good things about Patrick Swayze in this film. I loved him.
He's a treasure, dude. You forget how good he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got so much hurt and pain in his face all the time. Whenever he's in this film, you can see it behind his eyes a little bit. Like, I don't know. He's a little captivating.
Yes.
You get a little bit of the martial arts from Roadhouse.
A little bit, yeah. The fight scenes were a lot of fun.
And speaking of which, this is a bizarre film for me because it falls into a certain category.
Yeah.
The same category as Roadhouse, the same category as Face Off. Mission Impossible 2, movies like that. It's well-shot schlock because this movie is gorgeous.
Yes, but it is just a dumb dick action flick is what it is.
That's
it all it
absolutely
is. And that's what's so much fun about it because the premise is ridiculous.
It is.
If you've never seen this movie, first of all, you're 5 minutes into this podcast. Why are you listening? Go watch Point Break. You'll love it, I promise. It's these surfers who, in the off season, they rob banks so they can surf all summer, and that's it.
Pretty much.
Keanu Reeves works for the FBI,
and they've
he's gotta take him
never
down.
been caught ever.
No, they robbed 20-something banks, and they never got caught. It's just so funny.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves plays Johnny Utah, the best goddamn name I've ever heard in a movie.
That is such a quarterback name, too.
And guess what? He's a quarterback.
He was, yeah, until he blew his knee out in the Rose Bowl. Okay, that's odd. That's the best. That's the best name ever for
and he's
a movie.
The fresh new agent in the worst run FBI precinct ever. These guys are incompetent as hell. I was sitting there watching this movie and shit going down.
Yeah.
And the first thing they do, their first big mistake is they raid this place because they're tough guys with a record, right? Because they're looking for the bank robbers. So they raid this place without passing it through anyone in the upper chain.
Is this like halfway
through? They have zero evidence. Yeah, the big raid. Zero evidence. They just come barging through the window, start shooting people, and it turns out there's an FBI agent already there working undercover. How did they not know?
Well, I don't know. Was he FBI or was he like DEA or something? But he was definitely a federal agent.
He was a federal agent, yeah.
And what made no sense to me is that, okay, I get that you're FBI and you need to constantly be up on your training, but there's even a line and that from Gary Busey, because they're by the pool when Angelo and Utah first meet. He's like, I've fired my pistol so many times in the line of duty. I've been working here for like 20-something years. I have never once had to jump into a goddamn pool to retrieve a brick. Like, what kind of training is that? You're blindfolded and you jump into a pool to find bricks. That makes no sense. Why are you doing this? But it's so much fun of a movie, and it's so much so that it didn't even have to be like there was no need for romance in this movie because you've got
not at all.
Yeah, I forget her name, but she plays Tyler in the film. What is she was Tank Girl? I forget her. Lori Petty.
Lori Petty. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have taken her out of this movie completely, and it would have been just fine. I feel like her character is the most unnecessary.
She's there to be captured in the end. That's it.
Pretty much. And I mean, she looked all right for the very early '90s, but she wasn't like Pam Anderson in Baywatch or Vicky Vale in Batman.
But I don't. Okay, his scene when he meets her and then goes where she works and tells the lie about his parents and whatnot, I was laughing throughout the entire speech because it is so unbelievable. She falls for it.
Well, she falls for it because he researched her so he could lie to her like that.
Well, I know, but I guess it's the way he's delivering the line.
Just trying to be all serious. Keanu, you're early 90s Keanu.
My parents died in a terrible car wreck.
And I've always wanted to learn how to surf or whatever.
I'm drawn to it.
So, first time you've seen it in over 20 years.
Yes.
What are some of your other thoughts? Because I'm curious.
This film is nuts.
It is nuts.
It's nuts. It doesn't stop. It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and the people involved get dumber and dumber and dumber. They make the stupidest decisions. But I can't get mad at it.
No, you really can't.
I laughed like almost the whole way through. I was loving this movie, especially when they free fall for like 2 minutes.
Oh man, that scene was great. Like I say, I love this movie. That scene actually made me want to skydive for the first time, and I got to do it, and it was so much fun. It was that scene in the movie that made me want to do it. So this movie is a lot of fun. It definitely impacted me because I've seen it about 1 million times. I could watch it right now. But one thing I really love is just how dumb some of the dialogue is, especially when when him and Pappas first meet Gary Busey, and they're sitting by a car wreck or something, and he's trying to get him mad. He's like, yeah, you feel that? You mad now? Now let's go catch these guys. Like, that was the worst pep speech I've ever seen.
Does it make you feel alive? Yeah, it makes me feel alive.
Yeah.
Now let's go get these guys.
That is the cheesiest fucking thing that you could say to somebody to get them. Like, he's already trying to catch these guys. There was no point in that whatsoever.
This script is nothing but cliche after cliche. It is beautiful. Whoever wrote this, I love you so much because you gave me a great bad film. This is a bad movie. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a bad film, but I love watching it.
I've never considered it a masterpiece, but to me, I know it has a lot of problems, and I mean a lot of problems, but it's so... The choices they make were never bad as far as, like, I can't believe you did that. It was more of that was bad, and I am so glad that you did. Like, I love every decision that was made for this movie because it made it funner. Every stupid thing. Like Gary Busey is... I'm convinced that they wrote this movie with him in mind, because his lines were so awesome and so dumb at the same time.
Yes, they were.
Like, one of my favorite lines was it was when they're trying to find the right sand because they know that they're surfers. So they go to these different beaches. So they've got to test people's hair. And he finds
They're walking around the beach ripping guys' hair out.
Exactly. So he goes to these stoners. He's like, hey, when y'all are done making out under there, I need to get a sample of your hair. I'm making a wig for my girlfriend. What? I can't believe he just said that. It was one of the greatest lines of this whole movie. He's like, I'm making a wig for my girlfriend. And just whenever he's on screen, I immediately perk up because I know what he's going to say, and I just want to hear him say it again. And like,
he has two insults in this movie, and they're both about his tenure in the FBI.
Yeah.
The first one is to Utah when he said, "You sorry little shit." What does he say? I was taking shrapnel and whenever you were still shitting in your hands and rubbing it on your face.
And then one to Dr. Cox.
And one to Dr. Cox. When you've been in the department a long time? Yeah, so long that I was doing missions whenever you were still popping little zits on your silly face and jerking off to the lingerie section of the Sears catalog. Only Busey can deliver that line and make it great.
Oh yeah, or even when he's like, they're waiting outside the bank because they know this is going to be the bank. They know. And what is the first thing you see him do? Is, hey, go over there and get me a sandwich. No, you're on a stakeout.
When it was showing the bank behind him when he was paying for it, I was like, okay, they're gonna pull up. They're gonna pull up. Yeah. Yes, they pulled up.
They pulled up. And he even says, he's like, the meatball sandwich is right over there. Will you go get me two? Utah, give me two. Pretty sure that is the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen an FBI agent do on a stakeout is leave the car. No wonder these people deserve to get away. If this is the people chasing them,
because they're so incompetent. I can't believe it. And oh my God, Utah is like the worst agent ever. He is so irresponsible. Every decision he makes is selfish.
Yeah, pretty much. But he's not the worst. I'm pretty sure that the other two agents whose names you don't really know, they're the worst. But they make a great team. They're actually pretty smart in how they figure it out. It's just once they figure it out, they turn into complete dumb shits and apparently don't care. Like, I know you're trying to catch these guys, but and I keep going back to him sending them off to the sandwich shop. Like, are you serious? That's what you're using your time for? You should be in the bank.
Absolutely should be.
Like, let the bank know.
Pretending to be a customer.
Yeah, let the bank know that, hey, we have intel that this is going to be their next target. We're just going to sit here, or we'll just pretend to be bank tellers. Something. Let the bank know. I'm not a cop. I'm not an FBI agent. I just know that I'm pretty sure that's not what I would be doing, is sitting outside, just the two of you, And why is
Utah in the car at all? Shouldn't he be somewhere like up high in a building, like looking through binoculars? Yeah, that's them. Go get them.
Yeah.
They know you. Why are you there?
Well, he doesn't know. Actually, during that bank robbery, which led to the awesome chase sequence, neither of them knew at that time that the other person was not what they said they were. It was after he started chasing them and he realized that in the very next scene, he's like, he's a fucking cop, man.
Yeah, but they know they're surfers, and it's established that Bodie knows everyone.
That's true.
So
yeah, I agree that Johnny Utah should not have been there at all. He should have maybe been, like somewhere else with a radio.
Up in like the 10th floor of a building, far off, about a mile off, looking through binoculars.
Yeah, but yeah, he had no business being there. I absolutely love, like, we haven't talked about him at all. We've just been Johnny Utah. Patrick Swayze in this movie, like, I can't get enough of when he's speaking. Does that make sense? Like when they're sitting by the campfire and he's talking about the 100-year storm or whatever that only happens every once in a while, or the 50-year storm. It's just so much fun to listen to him speak. And that's because
he says wonderful. Everything with such conviction.
Yeah. And the other, because the other 3 or 4, they were definitely written to be dumb surfer morons, but he's like, the philosophical type, so it makes sense that they're just out there to party, but he's like, yeah, man, once in a lifetime, you never know who you really are until you're staring down the face, whatever the fuck he said. I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
Something hippie.
Yeah, whatever, hippie.
So, but when I knew this movie went off the rails with me whenever they're at the campfire after the chase scene, and he's an FBI agent, man. We got to leave now. He's like, nah, man. We don't do this for the money. We do this to set an example. All the people out there living in their metal cubes in their cages, we give them hope. No. What are you talking about?
You commit felonies constantly, and it is about the money because you're using that money so you can surf. It's not, if you wanted to just surf, just do that. I mean, if you don't want to work, nobody says you have to. When did
you want to become a symbol?
Yeah,
it's out of nowhere.
That was completely out of nowhere. I absolutely agree with that. It made no sense because I think he just wanted to keep them in. And by the way, I never thought, like, this makes no sense. If you know for a fact that this guy that you've befriended is an FBI agent sent to track you down, why take him skydiving with you if the very next thing that you do is haul him off in a van to go commit a robbery with you because you kidnapped his girlfriend? Why take him skydiving at all?
So they could have that shot in the movie.
They could have had that 20 minutes
Patrick
earlier.
Swayze wanted to go skydiving.
And I get that. You could have had that scene 20 minutes earlier. And then when you go pick him up from his house after you already know, and he already knows, Johnny Utah already knows, which is pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. They go to pick him up, and he's like, I don't feel like surfing today, blah, blah, blah. And that's a pretty great scene because you know that they both know, but nobody says anything. It's kind of like sitting on a bomb, which is an old filmmaking technique.
No, that's the fascinating part about this movie is that there are so many good ideas and it's shot so well. I mean, the director and the cinematographer, there's some great shots in this film, some great wide shots, some great oneers. There's like 4 or 5 oneers in this movie. It's wonderfully directed and the cinematography's great. But there are certain decisions that these characters make in the script that fall on their face flat.
Like one, for example, is when Tyler finds out that he's an FBI agent, what's the first thing she does? She grabs his gun, yells at him, and then shoots the gun.
She shoots at him first. She shoots his pillow right by his head.
No, okay.
No person does this.
No, I understand he lied to you. Why did you pick up his gun? He wasn't going to do that to you if you called him out. He's a federal officer. He's not going to shoot at you because you figured out who he was. That was complete unnecessary drama.
Yes, it was.
It was relationship bullshit that nobody needed.
I think it was just so they could get her to stand there in front of the camera with nothing but a button-up shirt on.
Which, okay, there was easier ways to do that.
Yes, there were.
There are many ways to do that. I mean, hell, they banged 20 minutes earlier in the movie in the dark. You could have had her just do that, and it also made no sense for Tyler to be Bodie's ex. That was just unnecessary dialogue. It connects these characters in a way that is unnecessary.
It does.
Even when
especially when they don't really have there's no conflict there.
No, none whatsoever, because he kidnaps her anyway, and the only line of dialogue he gives about that is, man, you think I want to hurt her? She used to be my woman, man. We were involved. Well, then pick somebody else. Pick his partner or something. Or just don't have that at all. I don't know. It just made no sense for them to be romantically entangled in the past.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a dumb thing to do. So...
There are certain parts of this movie I feel like if you just kind of you just kind of rewrite it a little bit,
right,
and streamline a couple of scenes, and this becomes a great film. Because like I said, this is a great idea.
It really is.
I think it's a great idea, but I don't, the execution in this movie is like I said, it's bizarre. It doesn't make me mad.
No,
but because again, on a technical level, this movie is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, especially when I like that there was this other gang. I liked that you could have easily thought, yeah, it's probably them, but realistically, it isn't. And I like that they had that scene where they do the raid.
Yeah.
Very fun scene. Terrifying to watch because you're like, I know movie cliches, and Gary Busey's the elder cop who might as well have been 2 days from retirement. And this entire movie, you're like, he is not going to make it.
No, he's going to die.
He's going to die. And
I mean, his name is Pappas, for God's sake. They couldn't have spelled it out for you any further. Papa, his father figure.
Pappas. Angelo Pappas. But, yeah.
That's
a cliche that I knew back in the day before I even knew what movie cliches were. I know I'm watching this movie like he's not going to make it.
No, not at all.
Which is sad because I liked his character a lot.
But I tell you what, a naked blonde woman beating the shit out of Keanu Reeves in a bathroom is probably the best scene I've ever seen shot ever. That was fantastic. That entire sequence was great.
I think my favorite scene would either be when the second time that they jump out of the plane after he follows them, he's got no parachute.
Oh, yeah.
Which was...
That made me laugh so much when he said, he's got no parachute. Fuck it.
Yep.
He jumps out.
And
what are you doing?
And I love the tension of, if you don't drop the gun, I'm not pulling it. We'll both die. And I'm like, ah, damn it. And he does. And I also love the very last scene of the movie where he's got him, and he's just pleading, just let me go out there, get one wave.
They get one last wave, man. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. My life has been built up to this.
And I don't know that Patrick Swayze or Bodie knew he was going to die, but Keanu definitely did. He's like, you know what? Screw it. One way or the other, this was going to end. I love that he let him go.
I do, too, because not only do you see Patrick Swayze just kind of fall over.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this wonderful surfer. They call him the surgeon. And he gets out there and falls over immediately.
Well, it was more than...
So it makes me think he wanted to die, and Keanu kind of got that.
I think he was just in over his head. He's never surfed anything that large before. So he thought he had it in the bag, but once he got to the top of the wave, it was more than he could handle. So I think he knew he was going to... I think he knew he was going to make it, but Keanu knew something different. And
I love Keanu's lines whenever the cops are waiting on the shore. It's like, you let him go. No, I didn't.
No, I did. Yeah,
we'll get him whenever he comes back. He's not coming back. And then you see him fall in the water, and then Keanu starts walking. He digs in his pocket, like, yes, throw the badge. He throws the badge in the water. Yes.
That made no sense to me, though.
I wanted it to happen. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, of course. That's such a movie cliche as well. But realistically speaking, why did you throw your badge away? I never understood that.
Because you had to have that shot.
I guess, but that was your first assignment on the job, and it took you 2 years to close it. You're like, fuck it, I'm done. I'll go do something else. I spent all that money on law school and the academy and all that crap. Fuck this.
I'll just go surf and bone Tyler.
Yeah,
I guess, if that's still happening, but I don't know.
It made no sense for him to do that to me, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It had to be done, but at the same time, why? No realistic human being would do that.
I think the scene that made me laugh the hardest is when he calls Tyler after she shoots at him, and he's leaving that message. Tyler, I fucked up, man. I really did. I fucked up. Damn it! Why can't I ever say what I'm feeling? Was that Keanu getting frustrated with his performance and they
Probably.
just left it in?
Yeah, this movie is so dumb, but it's in so many ways.
But it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's funny.
In so many ways, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
There are definitely moments where you'll roll your eyes a little bit, but never once did I think that I hate this movie.
No,
I love
not
this
at all.
movie so much because, yes, it is bad, but it's bad in all the right ways and good in all the others.
It's bad like Roadhouse is bad. It's bad like Point Break's bad, or Face Off's bad.
Oh God, yeah.
It's that perfect 90s schlock.
Well,
I love it.
And in the same way that Face Off is bad, it's that, you know, Nicolas Cage and John Travolta are both being themselves. Keanu got to be a little bit of himself back then. That's what he was. Patrick Swayze was doing what he did. So was Gary Busey and John C. McGinley. They're all being what we like about them, which is the exact same reason I love Face Off, because it's them just hamming it up like crazy.
They had a lot of fun making this. Yes,
they absolutely did. But yeah, Face Off is another movie that is so wrong in so many ways, but is so much fun in others. I've never watched Face Off or Point Break and thought, wow, this is just terrible.
No. You're watching it like, this is so bad.
This is so bad, but it's so much fun. Like, just that stupid, the very first time you see Keanu, he's doing the, sharpshooting training. He's like, 100%, not bad, Utah. And he just has that dumb look, thumbs up, chewing gum in the rain.
In the rain, of course it was 100%. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, that's just so later on when he shoots his gun up in the air and goes, ah.
Yeah.
He's like, he even calls, Pappas even calls him out. He's like, you don't miss. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, you're right, because he did that shooting scene earlier. Congratulations. I guess that was the one payoff for that.
Yes, it was.
Just for that one line of dialogue. But the foot chase after they robbed the bank was intense. Very fun to watch. No, nothing really bad about that. Like that's where the movie is great.
The action scenes are very well done.
Yeah, because even there's a point in the chase where Patrick Swayze just they're at a gas station and he just lights it on fire and just starts spraying shit. Like, this is crazy.
That looked great, dude.
Yeah, and then just running through people's houses, and then, man, it lasted just as long as it needed to, and the end of the chase where Keanu breaks his leg, man. I felt his pain. Like, that was a wonderful acting moment from Keanu.
Yeah.
Was when he was in pain like that. That was great.
But I still don't understand when during the last bank robbery when he decides to go to the vault. I don't understand why he did that. That was completely out of character.
Yeah, that was him. Basically, like, oh man, I don't know why he did it either, but he basically kind of just said, this is probably going to be our last one ever, so we're going to go big. Break from the formula that has made them rich 20-something times. I think he just said, screw it, because he was in way over his head, because this is new for him. Every other bank robbery had gone like clockwork, and because they'd been found out, and he had Utah in the van with him, he kind of just made a rash decision at the worst possible time, and he just said, F it, this is our last one ever. We're going out with way more money than we ever made. That's just how I always thought of it, because, yeah, it was definitely his last
got
one.
Everyone that he loved killed.
Yep.
His brother, everybody.
Was that his brother?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Or he was
or did he just call him brother?
Or maybe he was related to somebody else. I don't know. But, yeah, that was a great scene, too.
It was still intense the whole time. I'm like, you're an idiot, but I still want to see what happens.
Yep. And
you're breaking your own rules, man.
You're in over your head.
You've got to be. This is how it goes down. You're going down.
I don't care. It's got to be that way. You got to go down.
Oh, Keanu, I love you.
You were so cute back then.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah. So that's
Point Break. It's such a good time. I highly recommend watching it. If you're looking for anything deep, don't expect to be
no.
No.
Don't
Don't expect that at all. This is a dumb 90s schlock action flick that looks great.
Yeah, and it is so much fun. So apparently, if you've made it this long, you've already seen it. Go watch it again.
Yes, absolutely.
So
I will be watching this film again.
Oh yeah, me too. I'll probably watch it sometime this week, but I don't know when because it's Tuesday, November 12th, and Disney Plus just launched. So, which by the way, I got this morning, and I already started putting it in my queue. If you don't have Disney Plus, go get it. It is the shit.
Okay.
Holy crap. I have so much stuff that I haven't even explored all of it. I just started putting stuff in the queue, man. That was great. So, next week.
I have not thought about this at all.
I have a little bit, and that was in the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
We say we want to talk about it, but we never get around to it. It gets brought up every once in a while. Mm-hmm. This is, I think you and I agreed, it is our favorite film of all time.
Oh, okay.
I love this movie to death. It is literally my favorite movie.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
The Count of Monte Cristo. But when I told a friend of mine that, his question was, which one? Because there are several.
There are.
My favorite is the most recent.
Yes, the one with Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce.
Yes. And, oh my God, what a piece of film this is.
Yes, it is. Yes, let's talk about the Count of Monte Cristo.
All right. That gives you a week to go watch it. If you made it this far, go find it, and we'll see you next week.
See you later. And I'm Seth.